on INSiiGHTS. 2 eyes in the middle. INSiiGHTS, where we always talk the talk.
Hello, everybody, and everybody, hello. Oh, look at him. Rick, come on, clap your hands. Clap your hands, everybody.
And everybody just clap your hands. That's right. Because you know what week it is, Coach. You know what week it is. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't care. No, I'm not sorry. Because to me, this is the best week in sports. Period. Hands down. Even if my Terps aren't in it, even if my Hoyas aren't in it, it is still the best week because it's March Madness, baby. Let's get it on.
Oh man, absolutely is. For basketball people, it doesn't get any better. I'd always take off work Thursday and Friday so we could see the games because all HBCUs always played the number 1 seed and we were always early, so they wasn't on the national game till they showed the highlights. So we had to try to catch the game and see what was going on. But it's March Madness. Man, I'm telling you, you get hyped up even going through the tournament, just like we talked last week about the run through the MEAC that year when we were able to get through and win it and advance, not to the playing game, but straight to Duke in Charlotte, North Carolina. Boy, I started the women's program. Then I went to the men's program. Only person to win conference titles in both men and women in Division I. But is nothing, with all the success we had in women, is nothing like what you get in the men. It's significantly different. That year we went to the tournament. We went to the Final Four. People were walking up to you. You had no idea who they were, congratulating you, speaking to you. Most of the black assistant coaches at the Power 5 schools came over, made sure they knew who you were. They wanted me to know who they were, introducing themselves and all of that. So it was special. I was there and did an interview, and we had a picture with me with some of the NBA superstars. And Hank saw that picture, and Hank said, "Who the little guy standing next to James Worthy and them?" "Who's that little boy?" I said, "Coach, that's me." He said, "Get the hell out of here. That ain't you." He said, "Man, you look like a little kid standing next to them." I think John Havlicek, James Worthy, might have been Kareem, but it was like you just got a chance to meet those people, and because you won and the manner in which we won, it meant a lot.
That's awesome.
Now, what we talked about last week in FAMU and us going to the dance, I have to read it because this was so much. Alvin Hollins, who was sports information director at the time, this is straight what he said. He said that 1991 FAMU team had connections with another Rattler championship team, the 1952 club. 1, freshman John Kyler sank 2 free throws to lift FAMU to the upset of top-seeded South Carolina State in the final. What's the connection? Kyler's grandfather, John, was one of 4 players left after the rest of the team had fouled out on that 52. The elder
I've heard about that.
was a freshman in 1952, and his 3 surviving teammates played the final 4 minutes of regulation time plus 2 overtimes to steal the SIAC tournament title from Alabama State, 71-67. Want another connection? How about 1991 FAMU's men's head coach, Mickey Clayton, father, the legendary Matt Clayton was a member of the fabled 1952 Rattler squad as well. And they said Rattler sports history is being written every day.
Wow.
Now, back in the day when we used to roll, and we rolled pretty good, when we would travel, we would always talk about, we were like the Lakers. When we pulled in town, everybody running to the FAMU. Everybody. And we said, I asked my dad, why is it like that at Alabama State, that they hate us? They hate us. And he said, you won a conference championship one year, and we didn't have but 4 players on the floor and came from behind to beat them, go to overtime and beat them in overtime. Dad, you need to stop telling that, because that ain't real. That ain't what happened. And so almost within the first week when I got on FAMU campus, somebody said, you got to be Matt Clayton's son. I said, how do you know that? Your daddy, you walk just like your daddy. Kick your feet like you ain't got a care in the world. That got to be your dad. Like, wow. And they told me about that story. And I did not believe that it was a true story. I just thought it was a bunch of BS. Just like one time when I tried out for basketball, my mom said, nobody was born with a basketball in their hand, son. You got to practice at it. You got to work at it. If anybody was born with a basketball in their hand, it was you. I was like, when you were born, FAMU men's basketball team was playing a basketball game. They were losing. They were playing in what you call the old gym, which isn't even here. It was like the old gym now. And so the story came out that Matt Clayton had a boy, and said they came from behind and won the game. Your mom good for a bunch of them to keep your confidence going. And I found out that story was true as well.
Wow.
So, you get a whole bunch of stuff that you don't really think is really true. But in the end, it really is true. And I appreciate Big Al, our FAMU historian, telling us this, but we got another segment we're going to
join me on the Jeremiah Report.
What up, Big J?
Hey.
What you got for us?
I don't know.
Okay. Who's your favorite basketball team?
Warriors.
Okay. Who's your favorite coach?
Papa.
That's right. That's right.
Hey, he get that ice cream tonight on that one.
That's right. Love it.
They tell me, they said Mickey and Ricky in trouble because they said Jeremiah and Jonas already in training so that they'll be able to take it over. I said, well, I got to give it to somebody.
Yeah,
they're already bribery does work.
Yes, it does.
So
yes, it does.
Spring break. What you doing during spring break? You working on any sports, anything? What you doing?
Doing my homework and playing.
Doing your homework?
Yeah, Papa.
I ain't seen that yet.
Because you were gone by the time then. Oh. Because I woke up and did some homework.
Okay. Didn't I see you walking around with a golf ball on the security camera? With a golf club? What you were doing with a golf club?
Practicing golf.
Practicing golf. And then didn't I see you walk back by with a basketball?
Yeah, Papa.
And then somebody went to go get a football?
Yeah, Papa.
So which one you gonna play?
Basketball.
Oh, good answer. Good answer.
All of them. All of them. Play them all. Don't limit yourself. Do it all and do them all well.
I say, and do them all well.
Do them all well.
Oh, boy. You something else there, boy. Anything else you asked him if he was nervous today? He said, what did you tell me?
No.
Why not?
Because I'm ready.
Oh, you're ready. Okay.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So we're not gonna get you all nervous in school when it's time to do anything. Okay, Mr. I'm ready.
Always be ready. That's right.
Did
That's
you learn
right.
what a pick six was?
Yes, Papa.
What's a pick six?
Where you almost where you block it from someone.
No, when you intercept it and do what?
Run.
Run for what?
The touchdown.
Did you do? Is that what you did?
Yes, Papa.
Yes, Papa. Like you don't know.
I can't remember.
Oh, you got so many things in your head there, huh? Okay, man. Well, you tell everybody good night. You see them next time.
Good night. I'll see you next time.
All right, man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Big A already said I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble. Trouble.
I see you, Coach Desir. I Coach Desir, I see you, Coach Desir. Told me, Coach, you fired. Let's say that didn't take long.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. I see it.
You see it coming, huh?
I see it coming, Coach.
We building 13. He in there with he doing the pressure washing. Got a little thing. He took Hank job and got you got a paintbrush. You got to watch him. He climbing up the ladder. He trying to paint. So he likes doing it. So I'm gonna help him get to what he like to do.
All right.
I'll hold on to it so he could do that. But back to March Madness. One of the things we wanted to talk about was the fact that we wanted to be able to pick these games and give some people some insight. I didn't want to limit it to just the men's tournament. Couldn't do that because I started in women. So you can't ever forget where you come from. You can't do that. So I got opening Earl of Pearl, Hankerson, and the legendary Rick Brown. Need y'all to what is it about the women's tournament that grabs your attention?
I won't answer that. I want to hear for comedic purposes today, Rick.
Rick, like every other time he's on
here. Well, for me, there's 6 Florida teams in there, and I like seeing that, even though 2 are playing each other, UCF and Florida. But that's good for the development of the sport here in the state. So I like seeing that the state is well represented on the women's side.
Hey, for me, it's 2 words: Dawn Staley. I'll leave it right there.
I understand.
One of my favorite players. She was actually one of my favorite players. Watching her play, love the way she coaches the game, and I really love that story that she had with the first African American coach that won the championship. That was really, really good. And so I am a huge Dawn Staley fan, and I'm right behind South Carolina all the way.
And for those who don't know that story, Carolyn Peck, after she won the championship, she took the nets, and she wanted to give it to someone who, an up and coming black coach, who would be next in line to win a championship. And she gave a piece of the net to Dawn Staley, and she kept that piece with her until they finally won. And they won in 2016, I think.
I think it was 3 seasons that she held on to it, if I'm not mistaken. But what I love is that now she pays it forward. So she takes a piece of a net and sends it to all coaches. I want to say, Rick, is it all African-American head coaches, I believe? Or is it just everybody? I think is it all the women's coaches?
No, it was 70. She picked 70 coaches, and I don't know if they were all black coaches or not. I don't recall, but she wanted to pay it forward. I do believe a majority of them were black, however.
Yeah. And I love that point. If I believe you are correct, I don't think they were all black. And I really like that part of the story as well. Just because I think we have to get away from this black and white stuff if we're ever gonna just advance and move forward. Nevertheless, that's a different conversation for a different time. Back to March Madness. And Don Staley, coach.
Well, I like the fact that there are a lot of Florida schools, and we got one local one in there. Florida State's in there. Sue Semerau. And one of the things that I always remembered about Sue was when I was coaching AAU basketball, that we didn't have at that time. Later, we got Jasmine Jones, who went to Louisville and into the WNBA. But she always had somebody from Florida State at our game at every tournament. And she wasn't recruiting any of our kids, but she said, Coach, you always have to support the home team. So they would sit right there in the front. Sometimes they may be the only person in the gym, but every tournament, somebody from Florida State was sitting in there from her staff that she had told them that they need to come watch us play. I always liked her. Personally, I think she's just a real professional coach. She's always open, and she had took a year or two off to be home with her mom and has come back this year and is successful again. But to have 6 from Florida when women's basketball started, the way they looked down on women's basketball in the state of Florida, because for a long time, the high schools weren't playing it. And Georgia never stopped playing high school basketball. So the girls program was so much further along than ours. Every now and then you would get a Dione that would come through and be recruited by everybody. But it wasn't often. And it was a struggle to get girls basketball going. I wish I could grab the name, but if you hear Iowa girls are on, you need to watch them. They got a young lady on that team. They call her Steph Curry. They said no logo is safe.
Caitlin Clark.
See?
Yes. And she is the truth. I mean, she really is. I individually, I just love the way she moves without the ball. And she's good. Once she gets in the gym, you heard that. She's open once she gets in the gym. She has no range. She has no conscience. And I like that. I do. And I like seeing her play. And she's going to be tough, but they're in a tough bracket. They're in a really tough bracket. So I don't know if we're going to see her past the Elite Eight, but she is a heck of a player. And if you get a chance, folks, to watch Iowa, check her out. And she doesn't just shoot. I mean, she's a good ball player. People think about Step and just about his range, but he dishes the ball too. Caitlin is like that as well.
I'm gonna come back to I'm going to come back to shooting when she comes in the gym, but I want to see the reaction of my coaches when I run this clip, and I'm going to introduce the rest of our speakers to everybody to introduce our panel. We got the legendary Dione Desir, head basketball coach at FAMU DRS.
How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, coach.
All right.
Well,
Yes,
we got he has on his tag Benjamin Tillman. I just knew him as Ben, but I give him credit. He's from Thomasville High, and he's a Q dog that I like. He's a really good guy. Coach Tillman, welcome.
I gotta go.
Welcome. Don't leave. Don't leave. It's always a good party when the Qs show up.
Oh, see, I like that. Always a party when the Qs show up.
No lies detected there. No lies detected.
No lies detected there.
Hey, listen, Coach. I got one for you. Omega Oil, right? So we will. People fuss about not wearing a mask and all this other kind of stuff, but they'll go and drink whatever concoction. Who the hell knows what's in that? Out of a damn garbage can, and everything okay. I don't get it. Well, sometimes you just can't explain. You can't explain everything.
I don't know where he was going with that one.
I was scared too.
Where he was going. And then a guy we met covering games in Pensacola and came up and started talking to us. He's been trying to get on the show forever. We've been trying to work with him and get him on. And I'm looking for a check because he does have to pay to be on the show. From Milton High School, we got Coach Ruffin.
Hey, how you guys doing?
What's happening, Coach?
All right, Coach.
Good. Appreciate you guys. It's been fun listening to you.
Hey,
oh my goodness.
He come
Listen
in all
to the deep
smooth.
voice.
I was
I know, right? I know.
Here.
Barry White.
Oh no! Don't start that stuff.
Drake and Barry White, Dione.
Let's get it on.
Oh no! You don't want to hear me saying. Y'all would shut the thing down before I start saying.
Oh my goodness! And last but not least, former Bethune-Cookman assistant coach. He is the man who tricked me into going to China with him. We were over there about 10 days doing basketball exhibitions and things like that. I see he has escaped the clutches of our good friend Rodolfo. But I told him, I said, if we're not going on the same plane over there, I'm not going. I don't know nobody in China. I'll be the only black man walking around. At least got to go with a white guy, so I at least be halfway safe and both of us be lost. Rick, my friend Rick. Welcome to the show, Rick.
Thank you very much. Can you hear me? Everybody else is saying that. Can you hear me?
And when did you ever start following what everybody else do?
Hey, Coach, leave him alone. He's another Rick. We need more Ricks on the show.
That's right.
Need more Ricks on the show?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm coming from lovely, historic Daytona Beach, Florida, home of the Bethune-Cookman Wildcats. Go Wildcats. No, baby. We are the Harvard of the HBCUs.
You're right. Y'all on that harbor by that water. Not these Browns.
We're the academic giant of the HBCUs.
The academic giants. All right. I got you.
That's right, baby.
Now tell me, we have from the Midwest. Who's covering the Midwest for us?
I got the Midwest.
You had to kind of jump in there and tell us what that looks like for you, Coach. Tell us what we need to be doing.
Now we still talking about girls or boys?
No, we're the boys now. I wouldn't do you like that.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Because I was feeling like, okay, I'm gonna have to let somebody else slide with that one. But yeah. Now the team coming out of the Midwest to me, I got to roll with Auburn and Kansas. Those are my two favorite teams. Auburn is kind of passionate to me. Had some players that I knew that played at Auburn, and also my daughter attends Auburn. So I wouldn't be able to survive if I didn't pick Auburn to come out of the Midwest.
And who do you think is going to challenge them to get to Kansas?
I have USC. I say after the first round, they'll win their first game. Then I got USC and then Wisconsin. So they'll have to go through USC to Wisconsin, and then they'll play Kansas. Unless Kansas don't survive against Providence, because Providence is really strong. And that will be
that's going to be a great contest, a wonderful game to watch.
Coach, yeah, you might have to mute yours until it's time for you, because I think the background is coming from the crew there. Auburn does a real good job of recruiting the South too. They have the kid from Florida High, Trey Donaldson, going there next year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I really think they do a wonderful job of recruiting the South, and especially they load up with Georgia and South Florida kids, man. I mean, they do a marvelous job over there. I've always been a fan of the coach. They've done some great things with the program. And just some outlandish things that's changing that football culture into a basketball culture, and I really like that. My daughter gives play-by-play for me, especially pre-game, and tell me how long the lines are just to get into the gym now, where you used to just walk in with Charles Barkley now.
Well, see, Coach daughter worked with us with Insights in a program that we did, featuring a lot of the kids out of school and talking to us about COVID and what it was doing to them. Well-spoken, all-round athlete, just like the rest of the Tillman crew. Doing good over there in Auburn.
Yes, sir.
You know, and it's just a little bit different to see where you are in Thomasville. Florida is a football state. Georgia too.
Mm-hmm.
So we all kind of know how difficult it is to kind of get an interest in what we do in basketball, and to do it at Auburn, that takes a lot of selling.
Oh yeah. I think two of the coaches that I admire the most, and unfortunately Florida State is not in it, but you have to give a tip hats off to Coach Hamilton and his crew for what they're doing with their program and the way they've changed things around, and especially in the midst of not doing so well in football, and the fans are kind of matriculating over to basketball, and I think that's wonderful. And the same thing in Auburn. I mean, the football program is not great, but athletics is holding fort through the baseball and especially the basketball programs.
Okay, in Kansas, we talked last week about going to the state tournament and just what it meant for me personally to go to the state and not be huddled in with COVID and all of that, and to see so many people. But Kansas had a kid they signed from Dr. Phillips, 6'10" kid, number 3 big man in the state. Thin, skinny, jumps quick numerous times. By the time you land, he's bounced back up. They said, Coach, he's already gone. He's committed to Kansas. So, you know, some of those major programs are working the Southeast corridor a little bit.
Yes, sir.
Now,
is that Bruce Pearl at Auburn?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, Coach Tillman, you got Auburn escaping Wisconsin and Kansas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm rolling with the Tigers.
Okay.
Yeah. I think Kansas is a great team, but I also think that Auburn, with their style of play and how deep they are, and I just feel like the endurance and their competition, not so. SEC is strong. We just can't. I mean, SEC is real strong this year, and I just don't think Kansas has played at that level for the entire game. I just really don't. So if they meet up, I'm rolling with Auburn.
All right.
Jeremy?
Yes, sir.
What you have for us? Thanks, Coach. Don't go nowhere, because I know we need your insight.
Yes, sir. I'm still here.
I've got the East region, and let me just say real quick, y'all were talking about FAMU. Well, my boy MJ Randolph from Pensacola, Florida. Does that name sound familiar? That at FAMU played real well this year.
There
and then y'all were talking about Auburn. Josh Wallace was a point guard there. He's an assistant coach here in Pensacola. So some pretty cool connections here in the area. I had the East.
He was a SWAC Player of the Year.
Yes, sir. He sure was. Had his jersey retired. For senior night and leading scorer and 1,000-point. I mean, he's a great kid. Just an awesome kid. That's what makes me happy.
He's another kid that's worked with us. We're going to have him. I've been in communication with him before the tournament, during the tournament.
Good.
He's been on some things with us before, and we have not picked a date, but he is either in the next 2 weeks, he's going to be on INSiiGHTS, and we're going to talk again because he's another one of those kids that was on our sites program.
Yes.
Where we had the students talk about COVID, how it relates to athletics, different things. In fact, on our promo for a book I wrote, Freshman the Book, he actually portrays one of the characters on that on the promo is MJ Randolph. So we kind of know him.
Awesome.
We call him one of ours. He's a good kid.
He's a great kid. You're gonna love having him on the show. He speaks very well, handles himself well. The way you see him on the court is the way he's off the court. Just a great kid, great parents, great family, great high school coaches. So could be more proud of MJ.
Well, tell us before we go too far. Tell us about the little point guard, which is why I went to Pensacola to see the little short point guard that ended up going to JUCO. They went to the Nationals, average 18, 19 points a game.
Love Bettis.
Love Bettis. Didn't play that well when I saw him, but I see that he's having a heck of a run in junior college. He might end up at a Power 5 school, little as he is.
So funny thing is, our head coach is at the Junior College National in Hutchinson right now. Our head coach used to coach at Hutchinson, so he's got a lot of connections out there. He was at Wichita State. Mullen Sports. I don't know if you're familiar with Mullen Sports, Jerry Mullen, but that's his dad. So pretty cool connection. I was just actually talking with Love. He's going to be here in the summer. We're going to start doing some strength training and some things, but Love is a great kid. I mean, him and MJ are they had a big group there. They were great, good friends. But a lot of people didn't want to get him out of high school because they said he was so small. And I used to coach against him, and I used to say, man, you guys just don't know. And you saw, went over there to Coffeyville, won his national championship last year, and he's got a lot of offers. So I'm excited to see what he does.
Coach, in all transparency, I'll take credit when I do well, which is most of the time. But when I saw him, I thought he was a nice little player. His height didn't scare me, but he didn't score well the nights I saw him. And there was another little kid who played point guard that got after it so hard. I like those defensive-minded, in-your-face kind of guards.
Yes.
I'd have missed on Love. I saw him play twice. I'd have missed him. And that's why we were in Pensacola doing that jamboree and covering them and getting a chance to meet you. But there's always a backstory. So I just I appreciate you sharing what you sharing. It's kind of what we want to hear is those connections when we hear about somebody, a coach, or a player.
Absolutely.
It makes you now take an interest in the kid or team, and you might not have paid them any attention before.
Yes, sir. And that's what's so funny about high school sports is you never know on a given night sometimes how kids show up, but he's put in the work. So I'm so proud. I'm so excited.
Okay, so go on and tell us about the region, Coach.
Yes, sir. So I got the East region, which is funny because Kentucky's my favorite team. So I don't know how we're going to do this. Now, I got a long scout report now. You asked the coach to do some stuff about basketball, so I got a long scout report. I got about 5 pages worth of stuff, but I
let me get my popcorn. Let me get my popcorn.
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm listening.
No, I could talk sports all day, so I better not do that. So let me get to my notes so I don't mess up here. I got Baylor taking Norfolk State in the first round. Baylor's just too explosive. Someone talked about Auburn earlier. Guards win the NCAA tournament. If you don't have good guards, you won't play well in the tournament. So I got Baylor there. For the next game going down, I've got Marquette and UNC. I've got UNC there. I just think Marquette's been a little bit too up and down. I don't think that Marquette will do well against that size. So I think I'll go UNC. St. Mary's, I've got them no matter who wins that 12 game. I got St. Mary's coming out. They're tough.
St. Mary's all the way around, regardless.
Oh, man. St. Mary's is tough. If you guys haven't watched St. Mary's play, they got some great guard. They're balanced, very balanced team. They can speed it up or slow it down.
That's
I got UCLA taking Akron. I got Virginia Tech taking Texas. Right now, I just think Virginia Tech's hot. They are playing right now. Now, don't get me wrong. Chris Beard's a great coach. I don't even think it's an upset. It's an 11-6, but I don't think it's an upset. Virginia Tech is just playing some great ball.
Florida State and shot them out.
Yes, absolutely. I watched that game. Absolutely shot him out the gym. Great guys.
They shot that sucker boy over there where the coach was sitting at.
And doing against Leonard Hamilton, that means you know what you're doing if you're doing against Leonard Hamilton in Tallahassee.
Right.
I got Yale beating Purdue. I'm just kidding. No, I don't.
Easy on the Ivy League school.
No. I got Purdue. I got San Francisco, and then Kentucky. Out of all those, let me pull up my bracket here on ESPN. Out of all those, I've got Baylor, UCLA. I got UCLA taking it. I've got Kentucky taking UCLA. I've then got, I'm sorry, let me go back. I did that wrong. I got Baylor taking UNC. I got St. Mary's losing to UCLA. I've got Purdue beating Virginia Tech. Then I've got Kentucky beating San Francisco. I'm a big Kentucky fan, but I was so disappointed in them playing Tennessee because they played so horribly on the defensive end. They don't jump to the ball. They don't communicate screens. They don't know how to guard. They don't hedge on on-ball screens or handoffs. I did not like the way Kentucky played, but I think they will play fairly well. I've got them beating Purdue. I've got them beating Kentucky. So my final four, so I don't run over time, I've got Gonzaga and Kentucky. I've got Arizona and Auburn, and I think it'll be Gonzaga and Auburn with Gonzaga taking it.
He went all the way through that one, didn't he, Rick?
Yeah, he did. Yes,
Try
he
not
did.
to keep you too long.
Great report.
Hey, heck of a report. Now, you said something about Kentucky, and I'm a Kentucky guy too. Never have been real crazy about Calipari, but I'm gonna show all of you coaches this clip. This was on the ESPN show.
They together, they know they need each other, but it's this is one where we had a lot of bad play, and I want to give it to Tennessee. I mean, they played great. Rick Barnes is a good friend, but we had guys like go over. And Seth, you know what my line is when you're shooting. What is it, Seth?
You can't make them all, but don't miss them all.
You don't have to make them all. You just can't miss them all. And we missed them all.
You did that the other day. Seth said the other day that a guy should have stopped after he was 0 for 10. I was like, hey, man, the next one might go in. You never know. Yeah, take them out if you don't want them to shoot. Jamie Johnson was 0 for 14.
If you don't shoot, we didn't shoot open shots in that game because we couldn't make any. And Jay, what you just said, my job is you got to keep shooting. My job is to say you got to come out. You can't make it.
So I think, listening to that video, I think there's a couple things wrong with that. Number one, he didn't mention defense at all. You know, if you can't shoot the ball, go get a charge, go get a box out. They didn't play very good defense. And then the other thing is you really shouldn't sub for offense. Unless they take awful shots, that's one thing. But the philosophy Calipari has, I'm just not too big on that. But it is what it is. They're going to have to learn some hard lessons, I think.
Didn't I just tell you I wasn't no Calipari fan?
No, sir.
Coach Tillman.
Yes, sir.
How long they going to play on the floor for you not playing defense?
Well, not long. You know, we going to get at it on that defense, and we're going to figure something out. But we can't keep checking it up there and not stop it. So you all defense is the key. So I agree. If you can't play defense, you can't win.
Can't win.
And I've seen your teams, Coach. They get up on you. They don't play that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Matter of fact, they're in the gym right now working on that defensive stand.
Hey, Coach, that's 100% correct. Coach, I don't have no second thought about it. You know, I see your guys. And we all had them jokers who think they're supposed to shoot.
Yeah.
You know, and I can't control everything. You might get that first shot up there, but you won't get that second one up because you be sitting next to me. So
that's right. That's right.
I can't control the first, but everyone after that is on me because I ain't gonna have you out there.
Give that man the green light, man. Stop acting like these are kids. Why would you treat them kids like that? Give that man the green light. He watched Steph Curry all night.
Stay in the football lane. Don't come over the basketball. Rick.
All right. But you forgot about me.
I was trying.
I know you were. I remember I was your friend when you didn't have any.
Exactly right. I still don't have any.
Now, let me just start off. First of all, I stole my line about Calipari. You can't make all your shots, but you can't miss them all either. Yeah. I like that line. I was going to use that line and act like it was mine.
Yeah.
But you played that clip. Now I can't use it. So I want to thank Mickey. I've been trying to get on this show for a few years, and I wasn't big time enough. He let me come on tonight, and I'm excited. And I'm like Nick Saban. You give me some time to prepare, you're in trouble. So do the same thing. I'm gonna go through the brackets.
But Rick, stop there, Rick. You know what you just said? This is what messes up your brackets, and coaching has an effect. If you pull that upset in the first game, a lot of coaches like to have a lot of time to prepare at this level. You don't have that much time to prepare. You win because you got a day off and then you play. So you got to be ready to go. And when the teams get upset, coaches always try to say, we play the next game, one at a time. But if you get in there on that opening day of the 2-day tournament and win one, you can upset the apple cart because they don't have as long to prepare.
Well, I'm gonna get my two most trusted advisors to have both teams scouted to the next round. I know who both teams. I'm gonna have them already scouted. We got that scouting report laid out in front of us after we play our first game. So that takes care of that. That's called preparation. That last second shot.
That don't have nothing to do with how the kids see it. The kids, it worked. What you see as a coach ain't always the same thing the kids see.
Well, I've been with them for 4 months. I hope I've got their attention.
I went to Auburn. We went to Missouri. We played Auburn. They were ranked 10th in the nation, the girls team. And Auburn and Missouri had lost in the regional finals the year before. And they had a nice banquet at the tournament and everything. And our girls team, Florida A&M, we came in 5-0. And the coaches were telling them they couldn't look past us. We knew that's what they tell them. We're a small little school from Florida. They set it up for Auburn and Missouri to play. And so when we got a chance to speak, we told them how, we were 5-0, but we beat the Florida College of the Blind. And we hadn't played anybody, and we were trying to figure out how they could shoot out there because they couldn't really see. So they were shooting the ball where the little noise was coming from. And Auburn girls just laughing and cackling, just key. The only thing I know we're going to win the dance contest when this is all over with. And I'm
step show.
Auburn coaches getting pissed. They're getting pissed because it was buying in to what some of them thought anyway. And the coaches were trying to get them real back in that you can't take this team lightly. Well, we bust their number 10 ass the next night. We beat them by 5. One of the few times Florida A&M has beat a nationally ranked team like that. But part of it was set up by getting inside their heads so that they continue to think what they thought. We were a little school. We in Missouri, they said, well, how'd y'all get out here? We see y'all bus out here. We see the Florida A&M bus. We bust all the way out there. So we told them we flew out there and the bus picked us up when we got there. And they were like, oh, okay. But no, we rode a day and a half on the bus to get out there. But I'm just saying, it's just one of those things that I think as a coach, we always prepare. You always have people do that scout team, but like I know, sometimes them kids don't hear you.
Yeah.
Unless you've been Tillman. But
no, I just ran into that. So you're absolutely right. they're gonna have a rude awakening when the game starts. Like, no, coach was right. Well, it's too late.
Yeah. Well, I guess this worked out perfect. You saved the best for last, and I like that.
Yeah, that's Dione.
Mickey assigned me the West. Am I the last one? We've done the East.
Dione will be next.
All right, here we go.
The South, the real South. We ain't talking about Daytona.
Well, you're talking about the South. You're talking about Daytona. You're talking about Bethune-Cookman.
No, we ain't talking about that South.
We're the southernmost school in the MEAC. We were until we went to the SWAC.
That's not what that gridiron said when we came down there and struck in them doggone Tigers. Oh, my bad, coach. We talking about basketball. My bad.
You mean after about 11 years before y'all won one?
Hey, we're not worried about the past. We're talking about the current right now.
Can we get your picks, please? Thank you.
Mickey, I want to thank you though, because you gave me the strongest region. I'm going to just give you a few facts here. First of all, you gave me Gonzaga, which is the #1 overall seed. And then you gave me UConn, you gave me Duke, you gave me Michigan State and Arkansas. That's 12 national championships coming out of the West. And so we feel pretty good in the West. I think the West is going to be doing okay. Now, Gonzaga should take care of Cal State Fullerton. Boise State, Memphis, that could be like Memphis. I saw them play against my Houston Cougars Sunday. So Memphis is going to be with Penny Hardaway. They'll be good. Then you got UConn and New Mexico State. I'll stick with UConn. And we got Arkansas and Vermont. Upset alert. Beep, 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 beep. Upset alert. But look out for Vermont. I heard several coaches say that Arkansas, after they leave the gym, they have to repaint the rims. So it's a shooters versus non-shooters. So I think Vermont shooting is paramount here. You can have all the defense you want, but when it comes down to shooting and offense, I'll take good offense over good defense any day of the week. I know I'm in the minority here, but I'll take it. Now,
Tillman, what you think about that?
That was a Thursday game. I ain't finished yet. Here we go.
Oh, that's all right. That's why I cut you off. I need to get somebody else to interject their opinion.
All right, give me an opinion. You got facts.
We're gonna figure out your top 5 plays, and we're gonna cut all that off. You better figure out you better have alternative plans. What I'm trying to tell you, because what you did 5 minutes ago is not gonna work them last 5-6 minutes of that ball game. I can trust you that. You better figure something else out.
That's why you have practice. That's why you have practice.
Dione, you hear him, huh?
I hear him loud and clear off that breezy coast.
That was the Thursday games. Let's go to the Friday games. Duke and Fullerton. I think that's going to be a pretty clear-cut win right there for Duke, because the next game is Coach K's last one, and then they're going to face the winner of Michigan State and Davidson. And don't sleep on Davidson, because Bob McKillop can coach. He coached Steph Curry. He can coach. Bob McKillop can coach. So Michigan State be on the upset alert. And then if Michigan State survives, then they'll end up playing Duke. So that'll be a good one. And then we go to Texas Tech and Montana State. Texas Tech's 3-14. Texas Tech. And then we got Alabama, Roll Tide, playing the winner of Rutgers and Notre Dame. Rutgers with Ed Cooley and Notre Dame with Mike Bray. But I'll have to take Alabama. And did I say Roll Tide? Well, I'm saying it again. So that's my brackets, and that's my winners. Pick them. And you guys, I know coaches, you guys don't like to gamble, but I'm just telling you, if you take Vermont over Auburn, so my bad.
Arkansas.
Vermont over Arkansas, I think you're gonna get a winner. You put a little money on that so you can buy you some lunch or cocktail.
I agree on that one, Rick. I got you.
And one last thing I want to say, you're talking about the women's programs. 11 schools have both the men and the women here.
Wow.
11 schools.
Okay.
And it goes all the way down the range. UConn, Longwood, whoever got Longwood's got the men and the women in the tournament. I thought that was pretty impressive. 11 schools with both the men and the women in the final pairings.
That's awesome.
Yeah. That's
impressive
for those schools and athletic directors.
What was that, Coach?
I said that's a great accomplishment for those schools, and especially the athletic directors and the administrative staff, so supporting those coaches to making sure they have the resources they need to build those programs.
No question.
That's impressive.
No question. But 11 schools, that fact jumped off the page at me. And one other thing I want to mention, we're talking about pairings. How in the world Tennessee could be third when they beat Kentucky twice, they beat Arizona, they won the SEC tournament, and you could put them third? Come on, man. Third?
I see you, Coach Desir. She was fussing about that all weekend.
I mean, come on, man. That's crazy. I mean, they beat Kentucky twice, Arizona, and won the SEC tournament? No way. And then you
what else you want them to do?
See, I knew you wanted to come on the Rattler side, you know what I'm saying? Because that's how Rattlers think, you know? I knew you wanted to come on the Rattler side because that's how Rattlers think. I already had that mindset, but that's all good. I'm going to let you stay on there on the beach.
Don't get started here.
You know slack, do she? I got a question. Has anybody seen Memphis play?
Yes.
Saw him Sunday.
What is your thought? what has happened to the #1 high school recruit in the country, Imani Bates? What has happened to him?
I don't know. He may be in the transfer portal.
But that was what they were saying. He's been the #1 top player in the country for a while, and they took him out of his public school, which I'm sure y'all know. They took him out and created an Ypsilanti prep academy that his dad started, and wasn't anybody but the guys he got to play basketball and 2 or 3 others in this room that they created for this basketball academy his senior year, so they could travel all over the country and play. And he has not had the freshman season that they thought he would have. And so they've been all on Penny asking him if the kid is going to stay or not. But it's still an adjustment from high school to college.
Well, Penny's got Larry Brown there helping him. That's a big plus right there.
Yeah, that solidifies your staff there. It really does.
Yeah, you got a few years coaching.
Just a couple.
National champion, NBA champion, and college champion.
Well, we appreciate that, Rick.
I do my homework, baby.
I'm glad to know that. That's what
we do our homework. It might be wrong, but y'all do it.
Okay. Hey, Mickey, as I used to tell you, don't never let the truth stand in the way of a good story.
And Rick doesn't see the truth.
And I don't hear it much from you, though, but I like it. I like it.
Be careful, because I got the mute button.
I know it. You're in control. I got you, baby.
Activated.
Coach D, save us. Coach D, save us.
Now, she adding fuel to the fire.
Hey, I just had to laugh on that one right there. I had to laugh.
Here goes our all-world point guard with the University of South Florida. He's coaching the boys, one of the first young ladies in the area to coach the boys basketball team. And one thing I know, they are a disciplined group. Before she got there, we did them on a live game. It was so out of control. I had to tell the camera person, don't show them. They coming out the game, pulling their pants down, throwing their shirt out, cussing. And I said, no, we absolutely can't have that. This is live. We can't do that. We had not been back until Coach Desir took over the program and put some discipline in the program. And to be honest, her boys were the reason we started covering basketball this year. They wanted to know if I was coming and if I would come and do their games. And, their game was the first. They got us back in it. And going to see her guys when we walked in the gym, the JV game going on, 4 or 5 of them walked up in the stands and spoke to us and thanked us for coming. That just meant a lot to us for that. So we appreciate you being a part, Coach, and I just had to tell them the backstory.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. And the guys, they still talk about that running to the what's that? Capital Circle. They asked if we're gonna put that in our preseason or postseason condition. And I said, y'all be running by yourself. I'm gonna be in the car. That's gonna be one run I will not be making.
Hey, that's what I did. I rode up there to make sure they were there.
Yeah. We'll just keep it on the what they call the snake block. We'll just keep on running that mile of what they have. We won't add those extra miles. My bones getting that season.
That's what Tillman do. He make them run to Tifton and then come back.
Yes, sir. Well, we get it at 5:30 a.m. though.
I'm still in my second sleep by then. That's that second dream. No, sorry. I left that back in the college days. College and professional days. Nah, we good. But hey, more power to you though.
They're a little different in Thomasville. I'm trying to catch a flight to go to Atlanta, and I'm driving through there by 5 o'clock in the morning. I said, wait a minute, the stadium lights on? They were over there flat getting it, boy. They don't play in Thomasville. They don't play in Thomasville. They
yes, sir. Yes, sir. We get it. We get it before everybody wake up.
Oh yeah.
They tell you, hey, them Georgians, they Georgians and Floridians, they totally different. But them Georgians, they a step ahead, and as you can see, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Hey, Coach, I sure miss Thomasville. My daughter finished at Florida State last year, and we used to make those trips, and we'd always go to Thomasville for breakfast on Saturday morning. Love Thomasville.
Yes, sir. It's a downtown Thomasville is a place to be.
It is. I can't argue. And y'all principal told, he said, y'all referring to us now. Y'all people in Florida crazy. Kids don't like the school. They leave and transfer. It'd be the middle of the week. They go to a different school. You don't play that shit in Georgia. If you don't like it, your ass ain't playing.
That's right.
High schools
you ain't playing, boy. He said, we don't play that in Georgia. You don't transfer schools here unless your whole family get up and move.
That's right. Exactly
Florida, Florida, they got the transfer portal.
That's what we say. The transfer portal. Coach Desir, give us your area, please.
Well, I got the South, and I couldn't even really get to a team because I was very disappointed with the selections that they were doing, especially with Tennessee getting snubbed for the number 3 seed, winning the SEC championship. I couldn't get over that. I couldn't get over the mere fact that Bryant University is in a play-in game. You know, you got 32 conferences, and 32 conferences, you're supposed to get an automatic punch ticket to the dance. So I'm questioning why in the world is Bryant University and Wright State University, who won their conferences, is doing a play-in game. So, you know, I was still stuck on that, you know, trying to get the number 16 seed so they can play Arizona, which means they're going to go ahead and get put out. But give me some credit. If I'm going to win the conference, at least give me a 15 or something seed, but give me an extra day to practice, not being a doggone playing game. That's for the snubs that don't win their conference championship. So, you know, I was still stuck on that. And my husband and I, we had a good conversation about that actually today and last night, you know. And I told him about Tennessee. Tennessee got a number 3 seed. Are you kidding me? That's all it's going to do is just add more fuel to the fire. And I wouldn't be surprised if Tennessee actually come out on the South. Because if you look at it, the South is really not as strong as the rest of the regions, as the Midwest, West, and East.
West.
Just like you on, what they call that? Southeast for you? You on the Southeast region? Southeast. Daytona? Is that where that's at? The Southeast?
Yeah, which that South, yeah.
Okay. But on the East Coast, right?
Yeah. But the only difference between 2 and 3 is what color uniforms you're gonna wear.
That could be true, but at the same time, it's the teams that you're also playing for the 2 seed playing that team, you know. But again, you're the SEC champion, you're a Power 5 conference. You a Power 5 conference, you win the tournament and you slide it with a 3 seed, that's disrespect. That would be a wallpaper in the locker room for my players. So you probably have Arizona going to come out and beat Bryant or Wright State. You're going to have them. Seton Hall and TCU, that's going to be a very good matchup. That's just going to be, you know, just take your coin, flip it, do a 50-50 chance on that. Houston, I really like Houston. They're very strong, aggressive. I mean, you got the bigs, can play guards. Guards can go down. They're very aggressive. Love hitting the boards. Illinois and Chattanooga, that's another one. That chat. They're gonna start coming for them. Eli haven't really been strong all season long, but it's going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen with that. Colorado and Michigan. Juwan got something to prove. He's got something to prove. I think he's going to get out that first game, but then that next game is going to be very interesting to see. Juwan always has something up his sleeve for somebody. So then you got Tennessee and Longwood. I got Tennessee, Ohio State, and Loyola Chicago. Don't mess with the maroon and gold colors. They always
absolutely. Absolutely.
Oh man, I just set myself up for that.
Absolutely, you're right about that. I love you.
Yeah, you set yourself up, but you're all right.
I knew something about you I liked.
I messed that up big time, but yeah, that maroon and gold, they're gonna actually do something. They'll probably upset Ohio State, and then you got Villanova and Delaware. Villanova will probably come out, but in that section right there, I really do think that Tennessee is going to do something to get down there to that Elite Eight. And take it on down there and possibly get into that Final Four. They probably upset Arizona. I really do think there's going to be some surprises in the South.
Okay. Well, coaches, tell me this. As you watch this, I know you do not look at these as a normal, average fan. It's hard for basketball coaches to watch it like that. What really sticks out, or do you have something in your mind that you're looking for when you watch these games, or is it something in particular that you look for when you're watching these games? Anybody could answer.
You know, I watch benches. I like to see what the body language is on the benches. I like to watch the assistant coaches. I like watching that. You can learn a lot about a team by watching the benches. I know that's hard when the game's going on, but just look at the benches. Look at their mannerisms. Look how they're conducting themselves. Look for their cheering for their teammates. Look if they're doing the right thing. Look at the benches. And more important, look at the assistant coaches. What are they doing?
I think what's going to be key is that team chemistry.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
when you're giving that extra pass, you're known to be the leader scorer of the team, and you make that extra pass instead of trying to get that layup, and you see big man open, and you get that pass off, and you come back down the floor, and you give him a high five, or you pointing at him or something like that. That chemistry, that's going to be very important come this tournament time. Very important, and not getting jealous of somebody else making that extra shot, or you know, you already put up 10 shots in the first half, and you were over. You know, it's going to be very interesting.
I like closers. I like to look for the person that can close the ball game. And that's one of the reasons why I like Auburn. Auburn has two guards that can close out the ball game. And I mean, these guys, they get at it defensively, and I love the way that they play, especially when the game is tight and crunched. So I really like the closing end of the game. I'm really not too much of a fan of the beginning of the game, but the second half is what I really lock in on when I'm just sitting there watching the ball game. I want to see what kind of changes the coaches might make defensively coming out of halftime. And I just really want to see those kind of changes. And I really like to see guard play get at each other, especially after the first two quarters. You kind of got to feel, like I tell my kids, everybody has a pattern. If you can't figure out that pattern in the first half, you doom the second half. So, and I want to see if they can figure out the pattern of the plays, the pattern of the skill set of the players that they're guarding. And that's what I like.
Well, I like this.
As a former point guard. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say, as a former point guard, I like to watch point guards. I like to see how they make adjustments. I love to see how those guys make leadership decisions, because when you get to that level, everybody's good. And someone said earlier on the podcast, they said something to the effect of, "We're going to lock you down." Well, what's going to happen as a point guard when they know your play? You're going to have to adjust. You're going to have to make an adjustment on the fly. So I love seeing how point guards, that to me, they make or break that team. You're the coach on the court. You got to get them in. When there's a loose ball or there's a free throw shot going up, are you getting that team together in the huddle? And are you getting 2 or 3 plays ahead of what that team is doing? So that's key for me. I think a point guard can make or break a team out there, especially when you're not familiar with another team. And at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do. You're going to have to be what you're going to have to be. So I think they make a team go.
You know what I always say, you may not win with guards, but you sure not going to win without guards.
That's right.
If you ain't got guards, you ain't going to win. I don't care how many 6'10s you got there. If you ain't got somebody that knows how to make entry passes, knows how to make you get the ball into the post, you're up the creek without a paddle. I really believe that. I've seen that happen to me. Give me a guard, point guard, that knows how to control the game.
Yeah.
But I think Coach Tillman said it best. Giving that lock-up defense. Okay, how good of a guard you can come down. You get that lock-up defense. When they get in your draws, they get in your draws. Right. That Tennessee team, when they clap that joker get down, I just love that. That just sends shivers down my bones when you see a defensive guard, all of them on one accord, just switching and rotating. It's almost like they got that psychic energy. You go and you hit that hard trap, and then you got that rotation hitting down into the block, and you boxing out. That's going to be real good.
Yeah, they doing all of this here, and you drive right by him and dunk on his neck. Yeah, I like that too.
Hey, no. You do understand that's at the beginning before they come across that half court. You do understand that, right? I ain't talking about when you up on me, but when I go ahead and I clap that means I'm gonna clap that to get that ball going the other end, and I will be getting you a head like this, a head buster. You know how it is.
Hey, listen,
we're gonna skip past and shoot the 3.
I got the key though, Coach. I got the key. Now, I like all of that. Wait, why you rubbing your chin? Like, wait a minute, Coach. I like all of that. All right, everybody's right. And but I'm gonna tell you what the key is. The key is the warm-up pants. See, everybody wears the same shirt. They give everybody the same little shirt to wear. That's good.
Oh,
but the warm-up pants, Coach. See, that's the key. See,
I wasn't ready for that.
Dione talked about Tennessee. She's right. those orange and white warm-up pants, those got to be some of the best in the business. And see, that's why I'm gonna tell you they're gonna get pretty far in this tournament because of the pants, coach. It's the pants. I'm telling you. I just wanted to make sure everybody.
These things are hideous.
Hey, Mickey.
Yes,
hey, Mickey,
sir.
back when you and I were playing, we didn't know what warm-up pants was. We come out there in our game shorts. We didn't even have warm-up pants.
And with the long socks that come up to your knee.
And my Chuck Taylors.
All right. Well, I've given y'all the key. So
No, man.
Desir, I need you to talk about those uniforms you saw this past weekend.
Oh, that's another. I'm glad you brought that up. This is what got me. Of course, I'm a female coaching in the males arena. I understand. But after you finish playing, y'all know good and doggone well, y'all in them stank uniforms. If they didn't go jump in the shower, then they had the nerves to go to a restaurant. You on national TV, and you in them same stank, sweaty uniforms doing the gritty all up in the restaurant, and you didn't grit your armpits with some soap and water, spritz something on or something. I was just like, yo, y'all gotta, you can't do that.
What team is this?
Them Buckeyes, that gold and black Buckeyes. Buckeyes.
No, Iowa Hawkeyes.
Oh, Hawkeyes, my bad.
Hawkeyes, yeah.
Hey, I gave him my bad. Hey, Ohio State, my bad.
We'll let it go.
My bad, Ohio State. But yeah, that just got me. I just couldn't understand that. You gonna be on national TV. The coach should have said, look, if there's gangster showers in it, because that's what they used to have back in the day. There's gangster showers and y'all afraid to do that, I tell y'all what. Go to the sink, get some soap, get some water, rinse off right quick. What we call hit your hot spots. Yeah, bird bag. Hit your hot spots. Hey, put on your clothes, put on your warm-ups. Let's go. At least put on a fresh shirt. It was in the same wet, stanky uniforms from the game. Ain't got the nerves to walk up in my restaurant. Come on now. Come on. As they say, come on, man.
Mick.
Yes.
Can we go back to what Dione was saying earlier about the seeds? And I'm on TV right now, Texas Southern, another conference champion. Johnny Jones, baby. They got a good one going on, but these conference champions shouldn't be playing in no play-in game. That's some baloney right there. Those some baloney sandwiches.
Dione made a comment earlier about that. She said, and she's right, there's a bracket in there where they're playing a play-in game, and it's not for the 16th seed. It's like for an 8th seed or 9th seed, but they got
the 11 and 12 seed. 11 seed and the 12 seed.
11 seed.
You got
12.
Who else tonight is Wright, Indiana, isn't it?
And Wyoming, they play tonight.
Wyoming, and then you got Wright State and somebody tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bryant.
You got Notre Dame and Rutgers.
Yeah, but I can understand Notre Dame and Rutgers. They didn't win their conference championship.
But they playing for an 11 seed though.
Yeah,
that's not fair.
They should be playing for a 16. Not all the way around.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Did not have to play in a play-in game for the 16th spot.
That is correct.
I got what you're saying.
That is absolutely correct.
And that's just like a disrespect and a slap to Virginia Tech. They won the ACC conference. They got an 11 seed. So you know they got a chip on their back. And ACC is in the Power 5 conference now. That's just disrespect all the way through.
But it's a total body of work.
I was coming back from Mississippi on Sunday, and they said something about they don't take the conference championships into consideration when they're doing the brackets. I think it shuts down. I think Jay Billis was saying it shuts down a week and a half or 2 weeks before. And that's tough. I don't know if I agree or disagree because I hadn't thought about it much, but that's shutting it that early. And then you got the conference championships. You don't know who's necessarily going to win.
You talking about regular season or tournament?
As far as the seeding goes. Regular season, yes, sir. That's what he was saying on his podcast or some ESPN cast he was talking on.
Hey, I'm gonna throw
regular
this
season,
one in
yes, sir.
too.
They cut it before the.
I'm gonna throw this in too. Texas A&M played in the
championship
SEC championship game.
Yep.
They didn't even make the tournament.
Nope. And their strength of schedule and their BPI is at 42. Come on now. That's a disrespect.
Yeah, they're
They
tough.
don't even make the tournament.
Yeah.
That's
Texas
crazy.
A&M's tough.
Are we gonna have a chance to bounce
Texas
back to the
A&M 's very
women,
tough.
coach? Since we talked about the men,
women got disrespected too, man.
You had your chance to bounce.
Well, I had something for you, but we didn't get to it.
That's very good. You had your chance to bounce. But we have I hope everybody checks their email. We have on there a chance for a lot of you haven't. And actually get at the Earl. That was his suggestion. We have opportunity for you to fill out your madness bracket and see how you pick. You have till Thursday to put them in there. We have the winner with your team or classroom, whichever one you choose. We give them a pizza party. We'll order some pizzas and stuff and have them delivered from INSiiGHTS Sports.
Well, can the coach get a steak? Can the coach get a steak instead of the pizza?
Awesome.
Can you get a prime rib?
I want some
for
sushi.
your team.
I'm a sushi guy.
Wait, hold on. I'm doing the picking for my team, and I can't get a steak.
Can't get a steak. But I'll tell you what, everybody put in $20, then you can get a steak. See.
Or kind of quiet. Kind of quiet there.
Hey,
Listen,
you sound like the guy.
I want some sushi.
My class want the premium toppings. We gonna put steak on our pizza. How about that?
So we have the people that you see right here. We have Sports Diva, who's always one of our regulars, who's on here commentating. So we have another young lady on here, and we got Coach Todd Lampley. He's a football guy who won our football pool. He said he had to be on it because he's the subject matter expert, even though he said, I don't know a damn thing about football. Basketball, I figured out. So we see him and Rick were going off. Football season, those of you who saw the show when we would do those recaps at the end of the show, they were funny. Those guys would really go at it. Now, it's up to you guys, but I'm thinking we can do a much shorter version next week and see where we are in your regions and talk about them, but we'll do it a little bit shorter. We have, and just talk about your region and how it's going. Because when we come back next week, it'll be the Sweet 16.
That's right.
This thing gets cut down real quick.
So is our bracket being turned in on Thursday? Because per the email in black and white, you said Wednesday. So I just want to make sure.
FAMU DRS. Any day that you do it, Dione, we will accept it. If it's next Thursday, we will do it. It doesn't even matter.
Oh, man.
So if nothing else out of this, some of you are getting a chance to meet and re-meet somebody. It's all about relationships. Be able to establish and meet people. We're all in the same business. We're all about trying to help these kids and find ways that we can do that and do it collectively. Now, outside of Dione, it's the most I've heard her talk ever. I didn't know she had all that in her. Jeremy he was a little extra. I won't even go anywhere with Rick because Rick, he speak for himself. Coach Tillman, once they came at you about the cues, that you gave that out to them. I said, it's on and rolling now. Now, one thing they do at Thomasville that I don't see anywhere else, and they have a tremendous Panhellenic following. When you go to that game, Panhellenic, if you're a non-Greek,
easy.
But all of them are up there. Kappas, Alphas, Qs, Deltas, AKAs, they are all in there wearing their apparel at their games. And that just, they're all over there in the section. It's just, Coach, I know that was something you brought with you, being a Greek family, but that's the support that y'all get it. That's pretty special what y'all get it at Thomasville High.
Yeah, to be honest with you, it was something that was really intriguing to me that I always wanted to do, which was to figure out a way that I can have mentors involved in my kids. So with the AKAs always have a tutorial program on the weekends, and I send all my boys over there. Kappas does a great job with helping kids out with FAFSA. So my kids get a chance to meet those people and figure out how to collectively pull in those FAFSA things that they need to make sure that they get they grants and aids. And then I have the Qs, of course, which is my bros, and they're always there to down whatever we need, cooking for the kids, making sure the kids get there here and there. also they create little jobs. Some of my kids are not as fluent as others, so I have to figure out a way that I can help these kids keep clothes, just the bare necessities. So Q's do a great job with making sure we are able to do that with the community support and all the Greeks coming together. We built something special for the boys and the girls.
That's awesome, Coach.
Hey, Coach, I got a quick question for you. Is that the season Greeks that you all have, or is it a mixture of the young Greeks and the seasoned Greeks?
It's a mixture of both. And one of my main things is for my older Greeks, I use them as mentors to my young boys. So I pair 2 or 3 boys off with 2 or 3 seasoned Greeks. If that makes sense. So if I like my father-in-law, he's a Q, so he has 2 kids that he look after. His best friend is a Q, so he has 2 kids that he look after. If I get 5 or 6 Greeks and Qs, everybody together, I got my whole team covered all the way down to my developmental team. So that's one of the things that if you don't do that, I suggest and try to encourage you to do it, because it's an avenue for the kids to build relationships outside of the gym and outside of school. And that's important for our kids, especially where we come from down here in South Georgia. They go to the grocery store, they're going to see a Q. You know, they're going to see a Kappa. They're going to see a Kappa man, they're going to see a Q, they're going to see an Alpha. So when they walk up to them, they have expectations for them because they know they play basketball. And every preseason, I go to all the churches and I introduce all the kids. And I tell them, I said, if y'all see them do anything, call me. So that's kind of the way we do it.
And he's legit about that. They have outstanding support. Love to go to Thomasville and do games, especially since they pop fresh popcorn. That I get 2 bags when I walk in the door.
Yes, sir.
They are really good. And Coach,
Mickey,
to tell them when you were athletic director, what was your motto that you had about athletes?
Oh, athletes protect athletes, no doubt. That's what we do all day, every day. You're gonna see my kids at the basketball game, baseball game, football game. We're gonna take care of the athletes. And when you sitting at the cafeteria, guess what you're gonna be with an athlete? You don't need to be with no non-athlete. They don't understand. They don't understand getting up at 5:30 in the morning. They don't understand getting cussed out by me. I mean, they don't understand it. So we're gonna protect other athletes, gonna continue to encourage them. And you can see it filtrates through all our whole athletic department. Football team play for the state title this year. We constantly winning our regions. Baseball, football, soccer. I mean, you just go down the line. We're gonna do a good job of taking care of our athletes here.
That's good
stuff.
stuff.
I've seen the praises from Thomasville because we've been there, and they were one of the first schools to say yes, come on board when Principal Mobley was there, who was absolutely crazy. He's a character. He won't come on the show, but he's a character. But we did a Thomasville High Brooks County game. That game was 3 or 4 years old now. Every time I look at it, it's still going up in numbers. Last time I saw it was over 13,000 hits to see that game.
Yeah. My son scored the winning touchdown, by the way.
No, that was your son?
Yeah, that was my son. He had 2 touchdowns that game. Yeah, that was him. Yeah,
y'all have heard me talk about that game. And that's, you see on a lot of our promos at the end of it, they singing that song, You Ain't No Bulldog. And when they started singing that, when they came from behind in Brooks County, and that whole section was standing up doing it, I'm getting chill bumps right now. They had so much emotion what they did because Brooks County had beat their ass. And they came back in the last 6 or 7 minutes. They will never, ever, ever stop talking about that game when Thomasville High came back. Yeah. It's up there on our website. If you don't have something to do one day, watch it. It's a heck of a game. Yeah. And even though you know the ending, I bet you Coach will tell you he's seen that game 10, 12 times.
Oh, yeah. I have to watch it with my son during holidays.
All right.
Well, everybody, we appreciate you being here.
Mickey, can I make one quick statement before we leave?
You could have made it by now. Go ahead.
I know this will be quick. Guys, in June of 2020, I was approached by an ABA group. You young people don't know about the ABA. To do a podcast from Sydney, Australia. It's called ABA 1-on-1. The number 1, ON1. Go to that site and look at some of the guests. I've had Artist Gilmore. I've had Cassie Russell. I've had unbelievable guests on that show. Hear Artist Gilmore's story about growing up in Chipley and going to high school in Dothan, Alabama. Listen to some of these stories. It's ABA, capital A, capital B, capital A, the number 1, ON1. It's from Sydney, Australia. I've been doing this podcast. We've got 64 episodes on there with some unbelievable NBA guys, ABA guys. We had Rick Barry. We've had some unbelievable Wally Jones, Dale Harris, you name it. So go to that site and just take a look at that. It's some unbelievable interviews on that site. We do it every Thursday night. It's 15-hour time difference between Sydney and Australia. So it's awesome. I thank you for letting me plug this, Mickey. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Check in the mail, right?
Kicks in by Thursday, and or for Coach Desir Wednesday or Friday or whenever she feels like
Hey, if I end up doing that, you're gonna null and void my bragging. So I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be on time, which is on time is before time. So it's gonna be in before Thursday. As I got you on that.
Yahoo Sports with null and voided. I don't do it. Back at you, Coach.
Mickey.
From INSiiGHTS. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
INSiiGHTS is a copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on INSiiGHTS represent their independent thoughts and representations.
Cena.
Until next week. Thank everybody for being a part, being here with us. We appreciate your honesty, your educating the people, your humor, and lack thereof.
Mickey, you're as funny as a screen door on the submarine.
That's where you are, Rick. I'm so happy for you. Dione, you said he's from Daytona now. Let him go. He's making it hard on Earl.
We're gonna keep him on the canoe. He'll stay on the canoe over there on the beach. He's not on the yacht yet, so we'll let him stay on that canoe by himself. Because that's how canoes are. You row by yourself. You row by yourself.
When Fighting Wildcats come out, you don't be saying that.
I appreciate you, Pensacola.
Thanks, folks. Appreciate y'all.
We appreciate y'all. Thank y'all here.
Good night.
Good night.
Y'all have a good one.